Alexander VI. Borgia poison is almost certainly to figure largely in any Renaissance novel. It does not figure in history. Yet, though hostile exaggeration and downright lies did much to create it, there was, unfortunately, some basis in fact for the miasma of scandal which surrounds the name of Alexander VI. Rodrigo Borgia Lanzul was born at Zatvia in Spain on January 1st, 1431. His mother was the sister of Pope Callistus III. A cardinal at 25, Rodrigo reached eagerly for the ecclesiastical plums his uncle shook down for him. His eagerness did not extend to ecclesiastical morals. Though rebuked by Pius II, young Rodrigo continued to live evilly. Such was the man the cardinals elected in answer to poor innocent's plea that they elect a better pope. Yet Rodrigo's election was hailed by the Romans with enthusiasm. Alexander VI, as Rodrigo chose to be called, was still a fine figure of a man when elected at the age of 61. He was talented, generous, a wise patron of art. He performed the exterior ceremonies of his office with decorum and dispatched the routine business of the papacy with ability. He promoted peace between Spain and Portugal, putting a rein on their fierce competition for empire by his line of demarcation. He treated Jewish refugees from Spain with kindness. In Rome, he made considerable improvements and did much for the university. Alexander had to face a difficult problem when the French king, Charles VIII, came storming down into Italy to make good his claim to Naples. It was a touchy moment for Alexander when the French approached Rome. His enemies, Giuliano della Rovere and the Orsini Savonarola, clamored for his deposition as a simonical prelate. But Alexander, no fool when it came to diplomacy, outmaneuvered them all and escaped scot-free from the French menace. He was not done with Savonarola. The friar of San Marco continued to denounce Alexander, but in 1498 the people of Florence turned against him and put the bold preacher to death. There was a moment when it looked as if Alexander might turn over a new leaf. One night his favorite son, Juan, disappeared after a party. After days of anxious search, his body, pierced with wounds, was fished from the Tiber. The grief-stricken old pope was crushed and gave much thought to reform. A commission drew up a plan full of promise, but the mood passed, and soon Alexander was deep in plans to push his son Caesar's career. Caesar abandoned the ecclesiastical state. Though a cardinal, he was not a priest, and to him Alexander allotted the turbulent, semi-independent northern section of the Papal States, known as Romana. Caesar smashed his way into his duchy and held it with a mixture of skill, energy, and ruthlessness, which made him Machiavelli's idol. But his activity was in vain. His sickness and the Pope's death were to rob him of a principality. After dining at a cardinal's villa, the Pope and Caesar defied the treacherous night air of a Roman August. Soon both were down with malaria. Caesar, managed to pull through, but Alexander, now 73, succumbed. It was 6 o'clock on August 13th that Alexander VI went to meet him as his judge, whose vicar on earth he had been. Alexander VI, 212th Pope. Christ our King, thy kingdom come.